The Broncos go across the pond for a match in London against the New York Jets. Can they keep stacking wins? You bet they can. What's up, Broncos country? My name is Brandon Gilchrist. Well, our Broncos are in London this week, prepping for a contest against the New York Jets. Broncos immediately left from Philadelphia and landed in London on Monday. Let's talk about the word on the beat this week. Well, the biggest news this week is obviously the Broncos traveling to London. As always, Sean Payton has a plan. He's making sure this team is acclimated to the time changes. This group isn't in the heart of London where players may get distracted by taking in the sights. No, the team is about 30 minutes outside of London, out in the middle of nowhere, in a town called Walton Abbey. From there, they're about 30 minutes from Tottenham Hotspur, where Sunday's match will take place. Looking at the pictures that have been on social media, the atmosphere looks absolutely amazing. Tottenham Hotspur is a stadium that's on my bucket list. I would love to go there one day. Looking at the grounds where they're practicing, everything looks pristine. Hopefully our boys are taking advantage and able to focus on getting the work in. Speaking of getting the work in, Nik Bonitto finally wins a weekly award. He was voted AFC Defensive Player of the Week for the first time. And you could tell from just the beat interviews that he was excited, couldn't keep a smile off his face. Nik is starting to get recognition for his play. It's about time. As I've said, Nik Bonitto has been on a record pace this year, and I'm excited to see it continue. Congratulations to him. All right, let's talk about this matchup. The Jets are off to a tough start this year at 0-5, losing their most recent game against the Cowboys 37-22. The game got out of hand after an untimely fumble from Breece Hall, and the Jets are searching for a win right now. Coming into this game, there's absolutely going to be an element of desperation that the Broncos should be prepared for. They'll be facing Aaron Glenn in his first year as head coach of the New York Jets. Glenn may sound familiar because, one, he was the defensive coordinator for the Lions for the last few years. Additionally, he has not only played for, but also coached under Sean Payton as a defensive backs coach. So there's some familiarity there. Let's talk about the Broncos defense going up against the Jets offense. The Broncos continue to lead the league in sacks and pressure rate, and they'll be bringing that with them on Sunday against the Jets O-line that seems to be susceptible to pressure. Now, the Jets offense is coordinated by Tanner Engstrand, who's in his first year. Before that, he was the passing game coordinator for the Lions last few years. Prior to that, he was also a quality control and assistant coach for the Lions. Now, this offense is all about the running game. It really goes through Breece Hall and Justin Fields, both being run threats in this offense. What the Broncos defense will be facing is an offense that run pass options, play action runs, and passes. The key for the Broncos ultimately is going to be shutting down Breece Hall. He's averaging 5.3 yards a carry and leads the league in explosive runs, followed by keeping Justin Fields in the pocket, keeping him from running, while our DBs take care of the back end. Justin Fields has been good in the pocket this year. He's passing at about a 70% rate. He also tends to hold onto the ball longer than he should. But when looking at the risk factors of letting him get outside of the pocket and run around, keeping the defense on the field all day as he converts first downs, that is not what we want. So the best approach to take really is keeping him in the pocket. Now, the primary target for Justin Fields is Garrett Wilson. Despite the tough start the Jets may be experiencing, Garrett Wilson is still having a great season. He's been a 1,000-yard receiver here for the last 3 to 4 years. He's on pace for that once again. I guarantee the Denver defense is going to be looking at shutting down Garrett Wilson because the receiving options after that aren't great, especially with Allen Lazard being out this week due to personal reasons. The only other option that could pose a risk is at the tight end position with Mason Taylor. He's off to a pretty hot start. He has seen the most targets from Justin Fields to this point. The Jets are also susceptible to turning the ball over, which has been one of the key factors in their 0-5 start. They have a league-high 7 fumbles. If the Broncos defense wants to take it to the next level, creating turnovers is going to be the one thing that's missing from this defense right now. How they approach pressuring the quarterback, and they're going to have a great opportunity this week. Let's talk about the Broncos offense versus the Jets defense. For the first time this year, the Broncos offensive line is going to be missing one of their key contributors in Ben Powers, left guard. Ben Powers tore his biceps and has already undergone surgery, and we don't expect him back until around mid-December. It sounds like, based on an interview on KOA with Garrett Bowles, that Matt Peart is going to be stepping into that position. We already know that Sean likes to keep linemen on the side that they're most comfortable with. Matt Peart has tended to line up on the left side, whether that was tackle or guard. There are some other options out there like Palczewski, but for the most part, Palczewski is lined up on the right side. So I imagine, especially with him checking in as eligible and helping bolster the run game, they're probably going to want to continue that effort, the heavy front. So I imagine Matt Peart will be the substitution that'll come in for Ben Powers. Now the Broncos will be facing a defense coordinated by Steve Wilks. He's been coaching since like 1995. The man has a lot of experience as a defensive coordinator. He's been the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, the Carolina Panthers, Browns. He was also previously the head coach for the Arizona Cardinals for a year. Wilks loves to play an aggressive style of defense, primarily a zone defense that's base front is a 4-3. He likes to attack, send blitzes. He will be utilizing a very good Jets front line that's basically quarterbacked by Quinnen Williams, a Pro Bowl nose tackle that prides himself on stuff in the run. Even though the defensive line is a strength for the Jets, the Broncos cannot shy away from trying to run the football. In the contest against the Cowboys, the Jets still gave up 180 yards at 6.3 yards a carry. That should tell you, even though they pride themselves on stopping the run, they've been having trouble doing it. J.K. Dobbins has had quite a year so far. We need to hand that man the rock and let him go to work. The line also hasn't been great at generating pressure, so Bo should have some time there in the pocket, even with Matt Peart stepping in for Ben Powers. The Jets defense hasn't been great at stopping the pass as well. Sauce Gardner, who started out strong for his rookie year, his style of play and the amount of holding that he does has gotten the attention of the league, and they are calling him a lot more for it. The way that Courtland Sutton is playing this year, I have full confidence in his ability to get open, along with the distribution that's been happening over the last couple of weeks. This offense should have no trouble getting yards. Now, another familiar face for the Broncos is going to be on special teams with Chris Banjo. He was the assistant special teams coordinator for the Broncos the last couple of years, and he's now the special teams coordinator for the Jets. Considering the Jets' position right now at being 0-5, the Broncos should expect surprises and attempts at getting extra possessions. And this is where I think special teams is once again going to matter. The Jets have also been able to block a field goal this year. Protection's going to be incredibly important when it comes to punts and kicks. Let's take a look at the health report for both teams, starting with the Jets. As I mentioned before, wide receiver Allen Lazard is going to be out this week for personal reasons. He didn't even travel with the team to London. In addition to that, nickelback Michael Carter II will also be out with a concussion. He also didn't travel with the team. Edge rusher Jermaine Johnson showed up on the injury report with an ankle. He didn't practice on Wednesday, but was limited on Thursday. Looks like he's trending towards playing. And finally, linebacker Jamarcus Weston and defensive lineman Quinnen Williams have been limited due to groin injuries. It'll be interesting to see if they are a go on Sunday or not. I would imagine with the Jets trying to secure their first win, players are going to play if they have the opportunity to. And Quinnen Williams is a huge piece when it comes to that defensive line. As a captain, I imagine if he has the ability to go, he's going to go. For the Broncos, I already mentioned that Ben Powers is out. He's going to get moved to injured reserve since we won't see him until December. In addition to that, our linebacker Jonah Ellis, who has been an awesome rotational linebacker for us, has not practiced this week. He's not trending towards playing on Sunday with a ribs and shoulder injury, so that does impact the Broncos' rotation when it comes to spelling rushers like Cooper and Nick Bonito. But considering the resistance the Broncos will face, I hope it won't be too huge of an impact. Some really good news on the defensive line front for the Broncos. Malcolm Roach has been designated for return from injured reserve and could be a great addition to bolster the run against Breece Hall this week. As far as transactions go this week, I mentioned last week that Lucas Kroll had showed up on the injury report. Turns out he had a broken bone in his foot. He has been placed on injured reserve. The Broncos have also signed wide receiver Samori Toure to the practice squad. He's had previous stints in Green Bay. The Broncos have advantages in all three phases this week. The offense should have the opportunity to refine their execution and continue to build chemistry. When the Broncos beat the Bengals on Monday Night Football, they still didn't score in the third quarter. That's something I want to see change this week. Let's see the Broncos score in all 4 quarters. For the defense, they've got a huge opportunity this week to generate some turnovers, which should help take them to the next step of being the most feared defense in the league this year. I'm excited about this contest on Sunday. It's always cool to watch your team play in a different atmosphere than you're used to seeing, and I think playing in a stadium like Tottenham Hotspur is a cool opportunity for the team. I know the Broncos will smash it. What are you excited about most in Sunday's contest? Let me know in the comments. As always, be kind. Talk to you soon, Broncos country. Are you excited about... Oh, jeez. Oh, come on. Don't you dare.